Go. Let's go.
Hello everybody, it's Quan and I'm back with another video. Now, in this video I will be discussing, or rather reviewing, Xenoblade. What can I say about Xenoblade that others haven't already said? Okay, story-wise, has a lot of depth to it, a whole lot of depth. Without going too much into spoilers, I mean, this thing could have been an anime in its own right, okay? I'll put it like that. I rank it right up there with Chrono Trigger, which is it's a classic and instantly one of my faves. But be honest with you, it seems Xeno took Chrono's place, and I never thought I would ever say that. But yeah, Xenoblade took over Chrono Trigger spot as my favorite RPG thus far. Now, aside from the story, which I really don't want to spoil for anybody who hasn't had the opportunity to play, there's the play mechanics. Now, a lot of people like the inventory system and the fact that you didn't have to use any consumables to keep yourself healthy and whatnot. But at the same time, you had to constantly watch the little meter that you generated with your melee attacks or, you know, ballistic attacks up until you generated enough, ether, as it were, to sit up here and execute any revives or warnings to others, because there was a mechanic in which you can warn someone of a potentially deadly attack, and if you generated enough of this little bar, you were able to execute a warning in order to prevent that attack from happening. Like, you could have them set up a defensive position, or perhaps the character in question that's going to execute the attack on them, they could sit up here and stun lock them or something of the like, or be healed past the part of being, injured. There was ways of dealing with it. It was an interesting mechanic, to say the least. But there is one thing in particular that I wish they would have sat up there and took the time better on, and that's the quest tracking system. I think we're all spoiled with the whole quest markers. This is the exact location for side quest A, side quest B, side quest C. Okay, and trying to find characters that had their time, their schedule during the course of day, and you had to sit up here and look up the character in order to find out where they basically were at before you could sit up here and follow a quest, was a little bit tedious. But I mean, that's the only knock I give the game. Was that it took a little bit more legwork to track NPCs at times, or you had to recall where a certain creature was in general vicinity that you had to fight, certain unique monsters and stuff like that, or where other certain monsters were at and what general area they tend to pop up and what time of day. Aside from that, I mean, there really wasn't many room, there wasn't much room for me to complain about the game. Okay, soundtrack was solid, serviceable. The graphics, okay, limited as they were for the Wii, were very, very, very much, as good as I can say that I can imagine they could have been on the Wii. I could only imagine what X is gonna be like. That's what this game mainly did for me now. It's make me savor and want to look forward to X now. That game, whatever they want to call it, Xenoblade 2, X, Xeno Saga, whatever name they're gonna come up with. I'm dying for that sequel to this game to come out, which I do believe is a sequel because I do recognize some of the areas they showed, you know, and it'd be kind of interesting to see what they do, with that game. Maybe they'll clear up some of those little annoying tidbits with the quest tracking, but I gotta give this game, a 9.9. I can't give it a 10 because, like I said, I'm still annoyed by the quest tracking. Can't let that go. But this game, I give a 9.9. It is an extremely solid game. And to all you guys who do not have it, Black Friday is going to be $40 at GameStop. I suggest you get it. And yeah, you'll definitely enjoy it. And for those who have a Wii, and if you have a Wii U, it'll work just as well. You can use the gamepad as a screen while using your classic controller to do what you got to do. Hopefully, Nintendo will eventually fix it so that we can use the gamepad as a classic controller, and then gaming on there will really be fun. As far as like backwards compatible gaming. You know. But anyway, all that aside, that's my short little and sweet little review of Xenoblade Chronicles, and yeah, that's pretty much it. If you've played the game and would like to put in your input about it, comment below as you see fit. Like, dislike, subscribe if you will or won't. Just keep the drama out of here, as I usually say. And to those who've never played it before, if you have any questions, feel free to ask down below. And I or any other people who are familiar with the game will more likely not answer them for you without being too spoilery. Anywho, I'm out, guys, and as I always say, whatever's clever.